Tanya pasal apa? Apa yang tanya? Tanya. In reference to the government, again I keep mentioning that the definition of bully has to be more specific, because right now the bully is not just by certain approach. It goes, as I said, verbal, emotional, social, cyber. So that is quite considered not defined in any specific law as of now. So we hope by having this particular law that starts with this definition, that's technically we are starting the ball to roll. That, well, this is what we define as bully in Malaysia. Now, of course, the students also raise about, does it apply to us being non-Malaysians and all that? So, of course, I mean, law is law lah. The law, if you are an offender, you're an offender. But nevertheless, because below 18, the specific advice by the Child Commissioner from Suhakam is the punishment must be considered a bit different. And secondly, they're looking into the quasi-judicial, which is the platform of the court itself. It's not a normal court, it's a quasi-judicial. So it's faster and it's more confidential, and it looks into a lot of issue, as what also some of the panelists mentioned. It could be a mediation platform, it could be an education platform. So basically to find a solution, that's what a tribunal is all that. But in reference to here now, above 18, they're looking at it from a different perspective, whether is it considered still as a crime, or you are looking at it not from the criminal perspective. Now all this will have to be evaluated by the cabinet. I can't really say yet until, but we already got the act in place. So this week we will handle the East Coast, and we hope then will be Sabah Sarawak. But so far we hope we'll be on time, as what I have promised also to the Prime Minister, that the December sitting will be the first, second and third reading of the particular Anti-Bully Tribunal Act.
Do you think by narrowing down the definition of bullying, that will exclude future definitions of bullying that we don't know of yet? And how do you decide what goes to the tribunal and what is criminal prosecution?
I think one thing you must understand is that, say for example, in reference to sexual harassment, when you go to the sexual harassment court, the tribunal that happens now under the ministry, can you go to the other courts to claim for other damages or not? Sometimes it does allow. So it's not just a closed gap that is only this way and then you settle it this way. It will depend on certain cases. But a criminal act, as you know, under say 507, when you do a certain act and then it causes death, like the Elsa clause, that is a criminal offence. Is that a bully? Under the definition, it could also be deemed as a bully. But at the same time, the bully is causing the death. Betul tak? So you read it with 507, which we have amended. So that is a specific scenario. That act causes more criminal action. So then you go to the court. So the police, the buka, the IO, they investigated, and then the DPP decide to discharge in the penal code. That's quite clear, quite straightforward. But what about cases that is happening in a quasi-judicial situation that we can try to find a solution in cases of certain behaviour? So it cannot be to the degree of penal behaviour. You know, like for example, verbal abuse or verbal bullying. Is it a criminal act? It depends so much. Of course, you can sue for defamation for verbal, right? But that is a different court. But pending all that, and then these are kids going to school to know that when they go to school, they must feel safe. Same thing with the university students. So the system saying that, look, we have a system in place, but the response that we are getting is that it's not good enough. We want to be able to say, we want the perpetrator to be punished, not just with certain punishment as what the system in the school is prescribing. So we went to one state, I don't know where it was. Some of the teachers said, look, if you push the student out from school A, and then the student go to school B, then the character bullying is in school B. Betul tak? Okay, then another one say, hey, if you punish the student and then you kick the student out from school, budak ni duduk kat luar jadi penjenayah pula. So that is what when we did the town hall, the various perception came up from the teachers, the PIBG, the association, the NGO. So it's true. So the whole purpose of this is that the Child Commissioner's point of view is that if it's in school and it's below 18, the behaviour is that they call it, what is it, the term, the term they use for the Child Commissioner is not punishment, it's what? hukuman. Restorative judgment. Maknanya dia membaiki akhlak, dia kena pergi counselling ataupun dia buat hukuman masyarakat. Mungkin dia kena cat satu Putrajaya ke, so benda macam itulah. So dia belajar pada sikap dia sebagai contoh. That is basically why dalam bawah 18 tu Child Commissioner's advice is that kita tengok dengan jenis hukuman. Sebab they believe that budak-budak ni mungkin kita tengok di segi perangai bully tu, depend on the type of bully tu, mungkin dia kena ada peluang kedua di segi. Tetapi kalau bully dia ke arah kondak jenayah, dia bully campur perangai-perangai lain, tu memanglah jenayah, mahkamah jenayah akan ambil tindakan. Takkanlah sebab dia bawah 18 and dia di bawah perangai bully tu, dia tak boleh dikenakan tindakan di bawah kanun keseksaan kerana perangai jenayah. That's what we are doing. We're not doing that pasal dia bawah 18 dia bebas. Semalam ada pandangan kata budak 18 tahun ni kena sebat lah, kena ni lah, kena tu. Itu pandangan mungkin ibu bapa. Tapi bagi pihak kita di segi anti-bully ni, our objective ialah kita define and then kita tengok platform di segi proses perbicaraan kuasa judicial tribunal dan kemudian hukuman yang nak dikenakan. Okey, katakan lepas 18 tahun dalam kes-kes KPP, ini pun isu lain pula yang kita nak kaji. Itu sebab kabinet kena buat perbincangan ini. Itu saja. Faham tak? Macam jenayah apa ni, gangguan seksual sekarang dah kurang kan, betul tak? Lelaki pun tak boleh kena gangguan, perempuan tak boleh kena gangguan. So kalau sesiapa rasa mereka diganggu, dia pergi tribunal semua takut nak ganggu kan. Dia macam itulah, because you know the law is there. Betul tak? So this is why law is for that lah. Prevention better than cure, ya.